Hey my fellow diamond friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kalikaloo on the internet, and I also go by the name of Kali, and I'm very happy that you found your way to today's video in which I will be diamond painting again. So it's another WIP&SIP&CHAT moment, and I know it has been really long time again that I have not done one, and it's just because I was away and I just needed like a little bit time for myself, away from diamond painting. Last weeks always before like the year ends at school are like crazy. So I tried to be my best, and I tried to be back again with full energy for you guys. So it's still morning and I woke up a little while ago, and I love doing diamond painting in the morning. I also do love diamond painting all day long. But especially in the morning when I get my tea ready, and so I thought that this is the right moment for me to tell you guys a little bit more about my last few weeks. So let's start it off. Just before I start with my real WIP&SIP&CHAT, quickly, so WIP&SIP&CHAT stands for me working on my project. This is the project I'm currently working on. So it's called Mermaid Summer. It's the official name we gave it because Tony Kayao did not give it a name. But it's available in our shop, jollymshop.com. You can see the logo here as well. So this is what I'm working on. I actually have not come so far yet. Let me try to show you guys. So it's the mermaid. I started at the bottom and I finished up the ball here. We have a little bit part of the thingy that she's actually lying in. You see it here, and I worked on a part of her fin as well, and I really love how they look. Like, take a look at her fin. So how can I make you show that? Let me see. Yeah, you can see it here. Like, I really love how detailed her fins look. They look so gorgeous. You also have like these splashes here of her scales where they change like colors. I really love how it is rendered. So I tried out again like the round drills. I usually am a person who loves a lot to work with square drills, but I was like, okay, I'm going to try this one this time, just so that I was actually stupid. I can show it to you guys. Oh no, I can't show it to you guys. So this is what I can show you. But you see, I really love how it looks actually, and how it's turning out, because the fins look so gorgeous. And I'm curious to see when I will get at the top and when I will start working on her face actually. So this might take some time yet, but I've been working quite a bit on this ever since I came back. Please, I'm not the best like placer. I'm doing this craft for fun and for the benefits, mental health benefits. So sometimes my drills are not placed super pretty straight. So I hope you don't mind. I'm not sure if you're even not looking at what I'm doing in a close-up, but just so you know. So this is it. I think I have to change my mic and my camera so that I can get it like for you to see clearly where I'm working. So I'm going to switch that up and I'll be right back. So just before we start, this gives you the time, even if I go do a switch now, and it's going to be super fast for you. But this is a WIP&SIP&CHAT, so I'll be working on this. You might work on anything else. You might do whatever you want while you're listening. Get something to drink. Stay hydrated, stay healthy. So I got like my super cute Disney cup here that I have like for like ages. And I got some Earl Grey tea. So this is what we are going to deal with. I love to drink black tea in the morning. So I'm just going to switch up my setup and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm all set up and I think you should be able to see a little bit more what I am doing actually. So this is the fins that I've been talking about, so you can see them now perfectly. And we are going to work on this part here today. So get something to drink. I'm also getting some juice now, some banana juice, and then we can get started right away. Also notice this is my Frenchie, this is Edgar, and he's also happy to see you guys again. So I'll be back. Okay, a little bit hydrated, I can start. So what I wanted to say is that I'm usually a person who does not take breakfast in the morning. This is just like a habit because of my working schedule. So when I go to work in the morning, I usually just like leave super early, and because I have to get the bus really, really early. And I also love to sleep, so I don't really like eat in the morning. I eat something small when I get to work. But otherwise, I usually don't. And I know it's not really good, but it's a habit that I also keep when I which one should I start? I think I go with this one. So usually it's a habit that I have preserved, like also when I'm home. And I got the time, and I just like continue to not eat, but I just like have a tea to go, and then my brain functions. It's just like I have always been like that. As a kid, I was eating like breakfast at home, and breakfast was mainly like a glass of juice and also like some cereals, but that's just like me. So what I wanted to tell you guys about is a little bit the trip that I had. So for those who don't know, our shop was closed. Well, it was not really closed. You could like actually order, and we had like a big deal, a sale, kind of little sale of 20% of everything in our shop. So maybe you did like purchase something during that time. But we went away, and I was just like feeling like if I don't update, at least give people something to do. So I put out the sale, and I really wanted you to enjoy as well, like summer, the holidays. So this is actually the time where I often leave for summer holidays, like not really this time, but the period between July, August, and starting of September, just because we have this big summer break here at school, so I don't have to work during this time. Well, I'm going to work a little bit, but I mean, it's not like a time where I have to be like physical at school, and I can just like enjoy some holidays and some breaks. So what we did is we wanted to go, it was planned for a while, we wanted to go to Spain, to Malaga. So I don't know for you guys who live in the States if you know where that is. So it's actually a coastal place, like where you can bathe, and you have like the beach, and you have little shops around. So it's a coastal place, what we call station balnéaire en français, so in French. So it's actually a place where you have a lot of people, a resort where you go to and you just enjoy your holidays. Often it's like people go there to do not a lot. I actually can't do that. I'm just like, I don't enjoy it. Like if I go to a place and I book to go there, I just can't stand to stay at the spa or the beach every day, and that for 24 hours. That's just not, I don't know why I booked this trip, okay? So actually I know I really wanted to try it out again, because I had not gone to a place like that for a long time. Like usually what I do is I do city trips, because I enjoy this more, because this allows me to actually discover a place, and that's something I really enjoy. And so this is also what we did. To start off, it actually started, I don't know how I should describe these holidays. I don't know if it were good holidays or bad holidays. I can't tell. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to give a shout out. I just forgot about it earlier. So I wanted to thank Painting with Pities, because she was so kind and she helped me choose a microphone. So I really hope I did this the right way, and you guys can actually hear a difference when I talk, because yeah, so I got a mic. And I hope this makes a difference, because when I listened to her, her voice was so clear and I wanted the same. But then again, her voice is lovely. So if you don't know her, go check her out. She has a YouTube channel as well. So that Painting with Pitties, I will tag her down so you can go check out her videos as well. She does WIP and Sip and Chat. So if you love WIP and Sip and Chats, you will find something you're going to enjoy there. So this is it. So what I was saying is, I'm not sure if actually the holidays were treated as good or as bad or like something in between. They actually started off pretty bad. We kind of had a week left. So it was my grandpa's birthday before we left. And he was like feeling a little bit sick, and he does always, for his birthday, he wants to go to eat in a restaurant. So everyone was like, if you don't feel like it, let's just do it another time. Let's just do it when you're back from holidays and so on. And he was like, no, I want to go. Like, you know, grandpa, grandma, you know how they are. And so he actually, he decided that he wanted to go eat nevertheless with the whole family. So we went to eat in this very nice restaurant, and food was good and all. But later on he comes back and he's like, oops, and he's like, oh, I don't feel well, I don't feel as good. And he went back to see the doctor like 2 times, and the second time around the doctor says to him, no, you have something that's not normal, you go please to the hospital and you get it checked out. So this was like really a few days before we had to leave for Spain. And so he was going there, and they just kept him in because he had a problem with his gallbladder. Usually, like, I have a few friends who are doctors and who told me that it's unusual for them to just like give you antibiotics. Usually what they do is like one inflammation is enough for them to decide to just take it out. So they were like wondering why they just gave him these antibiotics and why they had not operated him. And I don't know if it was because he should have gone to Spain or whatever, but he stayed in there for like at least 5 days. He stayed at the hospital. So he was actually released on Sunday, and we should leave on Monday. So he was released on Sunday morning, and we would leave on Monday 2 a.m. So you know, he's like 80 something, and he's good for his age, like he's in good health usually. But even for someone who is in good health, like getting up at 2 a.m. after feeling sick, it's maybe not the best, especially if you are not just sick, like you had stomach ache, but you were in hospital, you got a lot of treatments. I don't know. So in the end, he decided not to join us on our trip. So we went there by ourselves, and it was kind of weird because like he's living very, very close. And so we had like ordered the shuttle bus to come and get us like in front of his house, so that he would not have to take his baggage with him all the way, and it would be easier for him. That was what we had decided. And in the end, on Monday, we were standing there all by ourselves, just in front of his house, and he was like not gonna come. So this was really a weird feeling, and I felt a little bit bad about it. But at the same time, I was like, okay, he needs to rest. I understand that he ain't coming. But I think he was also really sad that he could not come as well, of course, because he was really enjoying this trip. He went there a lot of times already, and he even wanted, so we got him for his birthday, we got him like this big bag because he wanted to travel there for like a whole month. And in the end, like now we are not even sure that he can use it because he has to do some regime and he has to eat like healthy. And you know, if you go to like a place like this, of course there are desserts, there are like stuff. Even if you decide in the end what you're going to eat, it's still like something, I don't know. It would be like a torture if you go there and you can't even like eat. Well, I don't know. So this is it. This was like the start of the holidays. I told you guys they were not pretty bad, but they were like not the greatest either. And it should not stop there. So we were not even at the airport. We were waiting for like the shuttle bus, like I told you guys a few minutes ago. And the thing is, the day earlier, so my mom went to the agency where we booked the trip, and she was telling them that grandpa would not be coming with us because he felt sick and so on. And so we were standing there waiting for the bus, and we had to receive new documents for the travel and so on. And we were waiting. Usually the guys from the shuttle bus arrive like on time or even earlier, 10 minutes earlier. So we were waiting and there was just no one showing up. And I was like, okay, maybe because like we switched up stuff and it was all booked under grandpa's name, because that makes like they decide to put everything under one name, and I don't even know why, but anyway. I was like, okay, maybe they canceled like our shuttle bus as well. And I remind you, it was like 2 a.m. in the morning. It was like super early, 3 a.m. I can't really remember. But we were standing there, and luckily enough, it was not raining that day. But the bus just did not arrive. So we did call them, because there you get also a number where you can call. So I called at 3 a.m. I called the guy. Actually, it was my friend who called first. And when there was someone who picked up, but the guy, he was like, just like we kind of woke him up, even though he was supposed to work, I guess. And he was like, he did not speak French. So, but my friend does only speak French. And he was like, yeah, you have to wait in line. I'm going to put you with someone else. And we heard the line start, but then he just kind of hung up on us. And I was like so mad. I was like, you should do your job. So I called him back with my number, because he did not pick up a second time when my friend called him. And this time he did actually, again, pick up the phone. And he was like, same way with me. Like, he was not really kind. And I think, like, if this is your job, like, you're paid to pick up a phone, even though it's 2 a.m., you should do your job, like, please. Even if we kind of bothered you, and I don't know what you were doing at 2 a.m. So I kind of like told him the same info, and he was like, yeah, let me check. But I talked to him in Luxembourgish, and he did not really understand that either. So he wanted just to talk in German. And I was like, dude, we actually have here like 3 official languages, like French, Luxembourgish, and German, and you just speak one. That's like a little bit weird, especially if you work with a travel agency. So you should be able to talk at least like the 3 national languages. But anyway, so somehow he kind of was looking through stuff, and then the shuttle bus arrived. So I was like, okay, thank you, dude, but it arrived, so there's no problem. But they had like a little bit of delay. And the guy never explained or never said anything. He just took our baggages and off we went to the airport. So that was the part I was like a little bit, I don't know. But after that, like in order to go to Spain, everything went like pretty smoothly. So the plane did not have any delays. And we arrived safely at the right time, just a little bit late, but it's normal, no big deal there. So I was happy once we arrived, and they brought us with the same shuttle bus also to our hotel. So all of this was nice. We had got some little bit food of it in the airplane. So I'm not a person who really does love to fly with a plane, but it's a must if you want to go to some places. So I'm aware of that. And usually I kind of survive. So I get to monitor my stress, and usually it's okay, I can do it. But it's still not something that I do really enjoy a lot. So I know that people are there that really enjoy flying. That's not me. That's not and never going to be me. But I'm not like super afraid of it either. So when we went there, like we arrived at the hotel, and this is actually where I tell you that Spain is really beautiful. I have been at the same place when I was a little bit younger. I think I was 18 when I got there. I did not have a lot of memories from back then. I remembered a few places, but I did not remember like the whole thing. But a few places I did remember, and I recognized them. For the hotel, I had not been in that particular hotel, so I told you guys it's a big coast. Well, a big coast, it's a coast, and you have like variety of hotels there, and we had been in another one. And since we decided to go with Grandpa, sorry, I had to get a sip. Since we decided to go with Grandpa, we were like, okay, we are going to just choose the same hotel he wants to go to, and that's fine. So I had not yet been in this one. I had very positive memory of the other one that's like 600, 700 meters above, at the same place actually. So when we arrived there, it was like the hotel did look like the lobby did look so gorgeous. Like it was very old style, with a lot of like ancient deco, like the rich ancient deco with wood and stuff like that. A lot of tables, a lot of sofas. It felt like these old kind of gentleman clubs. Like this is the ambience, what it felt like. And I really enjoyed that. But then we arrived like at the reception, and since we parted, like we left really early in Luxembourg, so we arrived pretty early as well. We arrived at like a little bit after 9, or 10, I can't remember. And she was like, yeah, she was really unfriendly in the reception. And that's the first person you see in a hotel. Like she's the face of the hotel. And I had a class and I told them always like where they wanted to become like receptionists. And I was like, you're the face actually of the hotel. You are the first face people see. So please be nice and kind and smiling and I don't know, be friendly. And she was like exactly not that. She was like really, I don't know, if they had not enough person or staff to deal with situations or whatever, but at least she was really not kind. And yeah, so she just told us, yeah, you are too early. You have to wait like until 2 p.m. and you will get your room. So your room is not ready yet, okay? And I was like, okay, that's fine, thank you anyway. So I tried to stay friendly, and yeah. So this was the first impression, not a good one, but I was like, okay, maybe it's just her and she's like having a lot of stress, or I don't know. So we waited, we went to the beach and we worked a little bit in the sand. And of course I did not have like the right shoes with me, and I just had like this big pants, like a jean pant. Everyone was in their bikini running around, or like in shorts or whatever, and we were like overdressed. So we had like really thick clothes, and it was like 28, 30 degrees already, and we were like really suffering in the sun. And that's okay, it's the first day. Usually that's how it goes, because I never put on like summer clothes when I go to take a flight, just because I know that in the airplane it might get cold and afterwards I catch a cold. So this is not what I want to do. Maybe I'm just like exaggerating, but that's just the way it is for me. So I was really not ready. I did not wear like the right clothes to be in the sun with 28, 30 degrees. And it was really hot. So we decided to walk on the beach. And of course I got sand between my toes. And of course, like I put on afterwards my shoes, and I had not cleaned them properly. So afterwards I got a lot of blisters. That's what happened. I had like 6 blisters on my feet, and that did really hurt. And they stayed there for like over a week. And we were staying there for like 10 days. And I felt like for 7 days at least, my feet were hurting. And I had like I could not walk like in a correct way. But this was my fault. So nothing to say about that. That's just me at fault. Yeah, after that, like we actually tried to stay at the hotel a bit, and we came back and we were on time. Like it was 1:40 when we came back to the hotel after eating something that was okay. It was not that good, but it was okay. And so I was like, okay, so maybe our room is already done. I mean, it's okay, I can ask, so at least she will let me know. So it was 1:30, I think, when I went there to ask. There were like 30 minutes left, and I was like, maybe our room is already finished and we can go there. I even talked to her in Spanish, and she was like, I told you it's at 2 p.m. And I was like, yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, I understand. So she really did not want to, she really was not friendly. You could have said that. I actually don't mind you telling me that I have to wait. That's not a problem at all. The problem is the way you tell me. And I didn't really not like the way she was talking to me. That was just so unnecessary. And like I told you guys, receptionists should be friendly, in my opinion, at least. So this was that. And afterwards, like, we got our room, and the room was actually not as great. My mom and my grandpa, like I told you guys, they went there like often, a lot of times. At least like 3 times they had been there, and when they sent me like pictures of their room, they were always like gorgeous. We got the view of the ocean, but it was like lateral view. They also had lateral view, but it was totally different. It was like kind of different hotel, I felt like. The rooms were like very old. And you seen that there were like stains on the wall, and instead of like just painting them again, they chose like to paint over the stains that were like nearly everywhere on the wall. And the problem is they did that with another shade of the same color. So you can imagine, you had like patches on the wall with different colors, and it was really not that beautiful. And it did really look cheap, actually. And we paid like more money to get like this extra view of the sea and the ocean, and in the end you could not really see it because we were in a room that was like really, I don't know, it was not that great, and everything looked old. And you also had like, since it's really hot there, we had like days where we got 38 degrees. You had to have like this air conditioning, and we used it, of course, but when you turned it on, like the first days at least, it leaked. Like there was like water dripping on the soil and we had to put like the bath towel underneath it, which is not normal. So I don't know, maybe we should have gone to the receptionist again, but like since she was like so helpful, I decided I was not really in the mood to go there and say, hey, the air conditioning is having a problem, because I did not feel like they would be a great help. So after a few days, this did stop, but I still had my blisters on my feet, so this was it. And especially since I told you guys, I'm not a person who actually can stay there lying in the sun for like a decade. This is just not, I get annoyed and I get bored and I have to do something. So we often just walked around and discovered the place. I think at the end we didn't know everything by heart there, like all the places you could discover, we didn't know them by heart. We did walk as much, so there was not one day where we did not walk at least like 13 kilometers. So which is quite, I don't know, if you go to a trip where you want just to relax and stay at the beach, this is like kind of a lot, I feel like. But yeah, so we did discover a lot, and in the end it became like quite repetitive. Like we did see often the same stuff, like also staff at the hotel was not as nice. I remember that there was a big problem, and you have that a lot in hotels in general. Let me get a sip and then I will tell you. So it's a beach resort, and often they come with like a private pool for the hotel. And the thing is that people, and I don't know if this is just in Spain or in Europe in general, I don't know how it is in the States, you can let me know. But people have this infuriating habit to just like kind of reserve their sunbathing, like what do you call them? Like it's the kind of sofas you are lying on when you take your sunbath next to the pool. And they are kind of reserving them at 7 a.m. already. And this makes it so that actually there are not a lot of these. and not everyone will get one. And they come and they are not even there. They just like pose their towel on it and then they leave and they go eat or they go do whatever. And you won't see them for the rest of the day. And then at 6 p.m., so there are 2 hours left to use the pool, they will pop up out of the blue and they will go swimming. But they have not been there the whole day, but they have reserved it. And so no one else can take it. And this is exactly what happened. Everywhere in the hotel, you got like these little papers saying that you can't reserve like these lounge stool, whatever, chairs or whatever, for the swimming pool. Nevertheless, at 7 p.m., you can be sure that over 50% is already reserved. Like with a towel, there's nobody there. Even after 9 a.m., we had finished like eating, we come down. There's no place left. Sometimes we had like one of these lounge chairs and then we would like kind of take it as well. But often like there was like no place at all. And I think for a 4-star hotel, like this was not a 2-star hotel. This was like a 4-star hotel with a lot of, I don't know, it was like, it was not a budget friendly hotel. It was like, it did cost some money. And I feel like this is not acceptable. And the worst part is when this happened the first time around, I did not understand because I was like, why would people do that? And so I went to see like the boy that was working for the pool. He was like observing people and his job was actually to make sure that this did not happen. So I went there and I told him, yeah, excuse me, but there is no place, free place. Are there maybe more like these lounge thingies that you can take? And just, I don't know, can you find a solution, please? And he was like, yeah, you can go to the neighboring hotel. And I was like, excuse me, sir? What? Like you have to know that the neighboring hotel was like part of their own complex, but it's like the budget-friendly version of it and everything was way cheaper. So I think that what happened is that they told their people to come to our place. And so there was not enough space for us. And that's why we all ended up like not having enough of these like stools for us to sit down or to lay down or whatever. So it was really, really, really annoying. And the first time I got really annoyed and I was like, this is not okay. Because like we paid money to be here. We paid money to have like a part, like to be able, even if we don't want to use it a lot, we paid money for that. And if people reserve it and you don't offer, like, you know about this problem because we went to read the reviews of the hotel later on. And apparently there were like people who said that for 7 years this has been a problem. So if this is the case, you as a director of a hotel, maybe you should do something against that. I don't know. Because people are unhappy. And you can see it actually. And I don't think that this is okay. But there we were. And in the end, we did not enjoy. We never went really to the pool because of that. Like this did actually cut a little bit the motivation. And yeah, so this was like not the greatest experience either. So the hotel in general I did not really enjoy it. As well, like for the Wi-Fi, we were in the 7th, like we were really high on top in the last floor of it, and we did not really get Wi-Fi in our rooms, and I really wanted sometimes to update my small shop on my Insta page, and I could not even take a look at it because it would not charge. So this was really annoying. You had to go to the lobby, and even there you were not sure to get Wi-Fi. So it was really not that great of an experience. But apart from the hotel, the rest was really nice. I feel like people in general, they were not super kind though. Like if you entered like a shop, people greet you kindly and they say hello, welcome, whatever, or may I help you or whatever. And here it's just like, yeah, what is it and what do you want and stuff. And I don't know if it's just because they feel like we aren't locals or if they were like annoyed by tourists, I don't know. but it was not like a warm, welcoming feeling, and so I did not really enjoy that either. Which is funny because I went to Spain a few times and I never had like this. I never felt like it was like this way, so I really don't know what happened. It's not like we enter there and we are like unfriendly either, so this is something I would understand, but we were always smiling and happy, and I don't know. Next thing we did was actually we did a trip, and this was really nice. So it was my birthday, and what I really wanted to do is I wanted to go to Granada, which I had not visited yet. So if you don't know, Granada is one of like an old part. If you don't know, Spain actually, the southern part of Spain, well, mostly all of Spain, but there was a part in the north, and Castilla had not actually been conquered by the Arabs. So for a long time, you had like Spain that was conquered though by the Arabs, and that means that you have a lot of architecture and a lot of the history actually that's linked to the Arabs. And also like their constructions and everything. You will find it, if you go there, you will see that there are a lot of influences from their culture and their constructions and whatever. So we went to Granada to go see like the Alhambra. La Alhambra is actually, it was like, it's a big fortress if you want. And it was like a place where Charles, what is he called in English? Charles the Fifth. He actually wanted to have his palace there, and it was long time under the Arab, like they were conquered by the Arabs as well. So the construction is so beautiful. If you have not seen it, please go check it out. I tried to enter also a few pictures in here. Let me just take a break so I remember. Sorry. So it's really amazing. You have a lot of these very beautiful constructions. The details of it are so lovely, and this was really one of the best experiences we had. It was fun way as well, because when we arrived there, like we weren't going solo, we were like with a tour. It was a tour offered by our air company, and there were like a lot of people on there, like from different countries, so our guide had to speak in few languages. And there was also one couple. It was really funny. I felt so bad, but let me just tell you the story. I think I'm going to stop afterwards because I have to do a part 2, I guess, because I have to do other stuff as well, but there's still so much to tell you guys. So I'm just going to tell you the story about the Alhambra, and afterwards I'm going to stop the video for today. So at the Alhambra, actually, before we went there, we did a trip to Granada itself, and we should go there, and we had a stop first. Because it was quite a long trip, like we drove for over 2 hours with the bus, and it was like a long trip in the sense that it took 2 hours to get there, but we did a stop when we went to Granada, and there we actually could have a drink and have breakfast because we left pretty early. And there was like one couple, a mixed couple. There was a woman. She was like, I think she was European or something. and the guy, he was Asian. And I'm not going to use their real names here, but it was such a weird story. So the guy, he was like super slim and big. Like, he was not big, he was slim and tall, and she was like blonde, and she had like the sun hat on, and she was looking like a lady, and he was there with his shirt with written on Lil Wayne and stuff. So this became a little bit of an inside joke later on, but we called him just Lil Wayne afterwards. But the guy was like, he, right from the start, he was like kinda drawing attention, and in not the best way. So we went there, we had a stop. Until that, everything was fine. Everyone had breakfast. I got like a chai latte, and it was like a Tim Hortons was it called. I never had seen this one, because usually we don't have these shops here in France or in Luxembourg as well. So I was curious to try it out, and I really liked it. So I had a chai tea, really good. And afterwards, like, we continued, and it would be a trip of like an hour to go to Granada from there, the city, not the Alhambra. So we went there, and suddenly on the bus, we were not allowed to get up and to work in the bus, because there was an incident where like the bus driver had to stop. And there was like, well, not in our bus, of course, but that person went through the window, and it was apparently not a pretty sight to see, especially as well since like there are like police that are passing by, and they see that you are working in the bus, you will get a fee, like an amount to pay. And this is something that we did not want to. And so everything was fine. We were driving along the road, and suddenly you have Lil Wayne who gets up and who comes running through the bus. He wants to go to the front of the bus, because we were reaching around tickets. Like, you have to know that for the Alhambra, you will have to use like tickets with your name on it, your real name, carte d'identité, passport name, because they want to avoid fraud with the tickets. And that's the way it is. And so the guide, he just was reaching around the papers with the name on it. And the thing is that actually we were passing them out. The guide was calling out a name. He saw who it was destined to, and then he passed it along. And Lil Wayne, he was sitting at the back of the car, and with his girlfriend. And when it was their turn, the guide called out their name, and he just came running in front. But everyone else was passing away like these papers, and it was like, it went by super quickly actually, but he did not want that. So he went there, and he snapped out, like, he really snapped out like the paper from the hand of our guide. And the guy was like, yeah, but we would have passed it. And he was like, no, I don't want it to pass around. No, I want it like this. So no passing around. And he was like really aggressive, even though it was like, there was no reason to be that way at all. Then he reached back, like he went back to his seat, already having drawn a little bit of attention. And the guide then, like, he continued with his work. And a few moments later, like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes later, you see Lil Wayne coming back again. Like, he is running like that down the bus. And the guide is saying, no walking in the bus, no walking in the bus. And she said, I don't care. I need to come in front, or I'm going to vomit. And he was like, what is going on? Like, we did not understand what was going on. And then he was like, Lil Wayne was explaining, yeah, my girlfriend, she vomited, and if I stay there, I'm going to vomit as well. And he was like, oh, it was really, like, not really a gentleman. I mean, the poor girl, like, she was feeling sick, and he was coming running, and he was doing, like, scenery, and he was, like, really, I don't know how to say, he was imitating her with his gestures and all, and it was really, I did not understand the girl. Like, how can you stay with someone who's like that? Like, seriously. I mean, he imitated her, he was laughing about her, he was like saying she was disgusting. And I mean, even if you don't like the smell, nobody likes the smell of vomit, and maybe you are a little bit sensitive, but dude, that's really not the kind of behavior you should have. And like, everyone in the bus at this point was kind of feeling bad for the girl. not just because she vomited, but because of the guy's reaction. And this was really not something, I don't know. And he did not want to return. Like, he wanted to stay in front. He did not go back. And finally the guide was saying, yeah, okay, stay here, but we will see. So he tried to like save the situation, make a little bit of a, that's normal, this happens regularly, that's fine. But the guy itself, he did not understand that. For him it was really bad. His girlfriend just vomited, and he was like, I don't know. Like, that's not something, like, I don't understand how you can treat someone like that. Afterwards, we arrived in Granada itself, so we had time for some shopping or discovering, like whatever. And when the girl came out of the bus, she did look like okay, and she was like, I'm sorry, honey, I did not know what happened to me. I never had that. It must have been something I've eaten or stuff. And he was like, yeah, but I don't know, it was not her. I did not even understand why she would like have excused herself. For me, this is a red flag, and this is also a way that I would have like, I mean, you can be sensitive about it, you cannot like it, and you can say that, and you can say you don't want to sit there because otherwise you will feel bad. But it was his whole way to gesticulate, his way to draw attention to it, his way to criticizing her about it, that I really did not like. And I think there were a lot of people who thought the same. He was so immature, actually. And that's something that I could not understand about the situation. But this was not the worst part, because then we went to Granada. Everything seemed to be fine. Like, everyone went a little bit to do whatever they wanted. Some went for shopping. We went for shopping and discovering. So we went to see the cathedral. I will blend in a few of the pictures as well here, so you can see pictures from the cathedral. Really, really beautiful. A lot of white color, a lot of gold. And we also went to see a little bit of the streets and so on. So we did not have a lot of time. I think we had 2 hours to discover everything. It was fine. I would have loved to get more time to just discover Granada, because I really love cities and discovering the flair of them. But it was really, really beautiful. It was a very warm day. I think it was one of the hottest days as well that we had in Spain, so we had to stay hydrated all the time. But this was really lovely experience. I really liked Granada. Afterwards, we came back to the part where we should have met our guide, Centro Neptuno. We will dream about it every night. That was also an inside joke. But yeah, so everything from there went well. And then we took a short drive of 15 minutes to the Alhambra itself. But then I had already, my feet hurt again, but I was like trying my best like to keep up with everything, and even though I had like all these blisters on my feet, I was trying like not to cry or whatever. I was just like moving and seeing and discovering, and I really enjoyed that. So we went there, and of course we had to wait for our local guides, because our guide was bad on foot. He had like an accident, or I don't know, and he could not like go with us into the Alhambra. So we got like some specialists who could tell us in the different languages what we wanted to know. Let me just get another sip. And we had such a lovely guide who was like explaining a lot. She was smiling a lot, and it was really fun to listen to her while she explained all the details of the Alhambra. We had like, with the ticket, it's not just like on your name, it's also at a certain time, so you can enter it before that time. And with a group ticket, you can enter like more quickly, and you get like to parts that other people can't see. Like, you can do the tour with the guide. So this was really nice. I really enjoyed it. I love to see historical monuments and get more information about it, especially if it's Roman period or such. But this one was also interesting. And we had the luck to be with Lil Wayne and his girlfriend in the same group, the French-speaking group. So more about that. So you remember the scene where I told you that we were in the bus and he was like kind of just like ripping the ticket out of the guide, like out of the guide's hand, because he did not want it to circulate for whatever reason, we still don't know. And then we arrived and he goes to the guide and he says, yeah, excuse me, but this ticket is not with my name on or the girl's name on, it's another name. And the guide was saying, yeah, but you have listened to it, you have like taken it earlier, didn't you check when you ripped it out of my hand? And he was like, no, I just wanted my ticket. So actually what had happened is that he had ripped it out of the man's hand because he thought that was his ticket. He didn't want it to circulate, or his girlfriend's ticket, whatever, but he had not checked the name. And I told you guys that all the tickets are with the name of the carte d'identité, the passport, because otherwise you won't be able to enter. So he had like taken the pages of a wrong person. And the problem is that our guide did not have just like the tickets for our group, but also another group that did come with us, but that was like in another bus. So these people had not yet arrived, and so there was someone on another bus who had like Lil Wayne's or his girlfriend's ticket. And Lil Wayne, he was so furiated, and he thought that this was like not his fault at all, but it was the guide's fault. So he was like, and this is the part where I told you he had such an immature like behavior. He was like hitting the walls with his feet and with his hands and knuckles because he wanted to express his rage and his anger. And I was just like, dude, what the heck? What is going on? And he had such an immature like behavior, and everyone in the group was like, oh my god, oh my god. In the end, of course, everything, the guide was calling the other guide that was with the people from the bus, and everything was all right, and they could come with us. But until then, we had to wait, and that was his fault alone, and he did not want to see it that way. So for him, he was never at fault. It is never him, it's always the others. And this is such a behavior that I can't stand. And he was getting like there already on the nerves of everyone. And then later on, when he went with us to the tour, we had like this super nice guide. She was doing her best and all, even though we were more people than she had expected. She kind of like, he did show his disinterest in everything, Lil Wayne, because he kind of, when she was explaining stuff, he was running in front. He was doing like hand gestures for her and the people to do things more quickly because he wanted to go there, he wanted to go inside. He said that actually he was wanting to have like an individual, he thought that it was individual visit, he never thought that it was with a guide. So he was really unhappy about that. He was really running in front of everyone, trying to pass before everyone else. Making hand gestures for us to move on quicker. Like, it was so ridiculous. Like, this has become ever since quite a joke between me and my friend, just because it was literally, you thought he was like a small child. And at the end of the visit, like not really the end, but like midway through, they had like kind of disappeared, he and his girlfriend. I think they went there like once they went inside, they went there for their own, like they discovered stuff on their own. But I feel like this is not the way you should do it. This is just like so childish behavior. And in the end, like I was really happy when we went home. And I think for the last part of the trip, he went back. Like he was sitting at the back with his girlfriend, even though he did not support, like he did not like the smell of everything, but he wanted to stand his man because he thought that I think he had seen that we were like kind of not really joking. We're not joking about him, but we were like kind of annoyed by his behavior, and he wanted to stand his man, I guess. So he went back to his girlfriend, and I don't know. I feel like he was kind of exaggerating stuff, and that's not. I don't understand how she could stay with him, but that's just me. Maybe he's great. I don't know. I don't feel like it, but maybe he is. Anyway, so this was the story of the Alhambra. In general, it was such a gorgeous place if we take out Lil Wayne. It was really, really beautiful. If you have the chance to ever go to Spain, ever visit Granada, please go visit it. The Alhambra is really, really beautiful. Such a gorgeous place. I will show you a few images, or you can see it and decide for yourself if this is something that you're interested in. So I'm going to stop the video here. This is part 1 of the WIP and Sip and Chat of my holidays. I finished all my beverages, so I hope you stayed hydrated as well during this WIP and Sip and Chat. I hope you got some parts done. So I finished with the clearer part of the fins. You can see it here. Really lovely. I love how it looks. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you have anything to say, anything to tell, if you have visited Granada again also already. Oh, I have to get back to my English. I'm so sorry. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if this does help with the microphone, because I'm not sure. I did everything that Painting with Pities told me. I think it works. I'm not sure. Let me know. And in the meantime, I hope you stay healthy. I hope you stay hydrated, guys. And I will see you in the second part of my WIP and Sip and Chat. Bye!